Hi everybody, welcome back to the channel and welcome to a monochrome portrait. Let's take a look at the products we're using in today's video. Right guys, so they're the products we're using in today's video. I'm going to stick them in on time lapses on this. So we're going to do time lapse section and then we'll talk through some bits. There'll be stuff popping up in the screen as well to keep your eye out for. But we'll just chip away at it and then I'll talk you through bits that I've done, how I've done it. If it's a little bit too fast in the time lapse, you'll get to hear it on how I did it in the little interval. So we'll move in and we will crack on. Right guys, we'll have a little break and a little talk you through what I've done. Now you see I went in really light, air pressure running low, and just work the iron, do all the sort of little textures the best you can, because you are trying to add the textures by doing minimal trigger and just dotting the paint, because there are some like little freckle type pieces on the face. So I've dropped them in and I was working the eye, dropping the darks in and then just sort of working out and dusting in really light and bouncing from a dark area to then put in a bit of light in, just to sort of build up the tones and just sort of get them in the right place. Probably got to go darker on bits, but we'll just sort of work it around. I'll move on to the lips next, drop the shadow in under here, drop this dark in here. Once I put this dark in here, we can then set the tone for this piece. And once you drop a dark in round here, you can then gauge the tone coming across the face here. And then we can just slightly dust over. We can keep going in and punching the highlights out with the Posca paint pen, because you're going to get overspray that's going to be just misting over where your highlight points are. So you can just drop them back in. With the eyebrow, when you look right up close on the screen, there are like tiny little dagger strokes. So I'll just do the dagger strokes and then dust over, dagger strokes, dust over, and then just darken it and darken it, and just keep going over them dagger strokes over the same place just to darken them back. And that's how we're going to do the hair as well. We'll just line it and then just go over and over and over and work all this piece in here. When it comes to this piece here, there's a lot of line work in this, coming all around on this piece here, and there's a lot in this snake. A hell of a lot of line work to do, all these little intricate scales, and then there's shading on each individual scale with highlights as well. So we're just going to work along, come down, we can start punching the tones backwards and forwards. And this is what I mean by going in light. You've got to go in really, really light when it comes to sort of these pieces first, all these little light areas here, go in very light. Then when you drop a dark in, very dark, you can then gauge the tone that's going next to it, and you can just slightly add and puff a bit of paint in. But just keep your lights very light, and where you need a real sharp dark, just put them darks where they are. Don't go hitting dark here, where you see on the face sort of here. it can look really dark, but I didn't want to go too dark under this eye at the start. But we can add, and that's the beauty of it, you can add. This paper is, it's not like sort of your synthetic papers where you can erase the highlights out and things like that. This one is, you hit it and it is there, you can't erase on it. So this is what I mean, you've got to go really light on this paper. It's sort of like get it right the first time, because there's no coming back from it. You can't really sort of correct it, and putting white over the top and trying to blast white over to bring it back to the white of the paper can just start to get really messy. So you just take your time, minimal trigger, low pressure, nice thin paint, so you've not got to worry about your airbrush paint like spitting or anything like that. You've got it correct from the start. We've got a nice mix, tested it to the side, it's working, and it's just going to flow like that, continuous. But always go back to your paper and check before you commit, because so many people get into painting and then they move away, go back in, they've probably got a bit of tip dry, go like that, and it goes splatter, and it's like you've probably done an hour, say, to get to this, and then you've wrecked it by just not doing a simple check of your tip dry or having a little test to the side. Mobius is working brilliant, guys. It really is a comfortable brush to use. It really is. Nice soft trigger, and I've got the tension wound right in, and this trigger is ridiculously soft with it wound right in. Air pressure, as I say, you can just dial it here. You know, we've got 20 on the main line, which is running it really nice at 20, because as I say, the paper's forgiving. 20 psi, you can just go straight up and you can hit the details, and you're not going to worry about it being too smooth and it's blowing out and you're fiddling around. You've got your paint mix right, air pressure's nice, and you just paint. And this is the sort of enjoyable painting I like, where it's the monotone, one colour. We are going to drop some colours in on this, might drop some colour on the eye of the snake, and probably just tone, slight different tone on the snake here, but I'll talk you through them bits when we get to it. So we'll move in and we'll crack on. Right guys, a little pause. We've dropped the lips in and we've dropped some more darks in. Now, the best way I can say go round it is go in light, as I always say. And when you come to your dark areas, say when we did the lips, I didn't sort of go straight in on the outer here. I went on the dark in the centre and dropped the dark in, and then work off that, so you're sort of rolling them around to give them sort of shape. So you're going to go dark, and then you're going to go slightly darker, and then lighten it up as you come up, same as this bit here, and then drop your dark underneath and just sort of roll it over so you get that shape. And when you do your highlights, if you're dropping your highlights in with the Posca, you'll notice if you've gone too light and you pop your highlight in and your highlight doesn't look right, you've got to put a dark around it. Whenever you see a bright highlight, there's got to be a contrasting dark around it for it to pop. It's like on the eyes, when you pop the Posca in on the eye bits there, we can go back over this one here. It's got a dark around it, that's what makes it pop really sharp, just draws your eye to it. It's like bright white with a dark background, and that's how you get these to pop on the lips. So just keep judging your darks. Starting to work around here, and I'm going to work this tone here once I've got this dark in here, and I'll put some of the dark hair in, so it's dark, and then I'll know how much to go in on this around here. So just bounce from your darks to your lights. That's the way I find it easiest to go around. You might do it a different way, but I just find it sort of easier that way. We could probably go a little bit darker here and here, but I'll set these tones. Once I get a bit of hair in here, on this dark round here, the real darks around the outer, the face will sort of lighten up a bit because you're setting them darks around it, and then you can judge it as you're going in. And then working this piece, same again, I'll sort of line it and then drop the darks and the lights in, and drop the Posca in for the real bright highlights, and then it'll all come together. So we'll move in and we'll crack on. Right guys, a little pause. We've started blocking, can't think where I paused last time. We put the hair in, which put the darks that side, worked the ear in, and then started working down here. Drop the darks in here. Got to take that dark a little bit further. Started putting the tattoos in. It's really cold in here, so I'm getting a little bit shaky on my line work because it's very cold in here. Just can't warm up today. And I've put the darks in here. So the next thing is to line all this out. Now on the image on the actual TV screen, it's sort of cropped up a bit on my picture, how I blew it up to fit the A3. So I'm actually missing a bit. It's like under her armpit, but it's either in or there. We get the bottom of the snake, this part here, is just a little bit more on the image. Needed obviously to shrink it down to fit it on the A3, but I blew it up to get as maximum as I could on the actual piece of paper. But same again, we're working round, going light and putting the darks in. Now we've just got to work in the snake, and I'm just going to drop a little bit of colour. Might drop a little bit of colour around the eye on the snake, just a little bit brighter, just to make the eye pop a bit. But as I say, working round, go for your real darks, and then you can just tone in your other tones to your darker area. It just makes it a little bit easier working that way, bouncing from one to the other. So we'll move in and we'll do the final piece on the snake. there you go guys, we got it down in the end. Work the snake. I didn't probably capture all of it on the time lapse of the snake because I was getting right close to the camera this side here. But the line work, you're just doing loads and loads of like continuous line work going around. And I am really cold, so I was like shaky on it. So if you are doing line work, make sure where you're working is nice and warm, because there's nothing worse than being cold. It's only like 14 degrees in here, but it feels a lot colder. So we've worked the darks in, and as I say, go dark and then you can bounce your tones across. Came down, worked all the snake in, done the shading on the tattoo pieces around here, and we got it down, and then used the Posca paint pen just on a few bits just to pop some highlights out, centre of the eyes, a little bit on the lips, there's a couple of bits on the snake, and we got it down. I was going to drop some colour on the snake, but I thought no, I'll leave it just as one tone, and it's turned out quite nice. So the brush, absolutely brilliant. I cannot fault that Mobius. I really can't on a 02. Brilliant to work with, because you've got the Mac valve, really soft trigger. For the price, it's an absolute bargain, guys. Absolutely ease with it, with this, just working with that, just nice. No fluttering or spitting, just got the job done. But this is a case of your paint as well, guys. Now, I used in the end, I didn't use Wicked. I've got Payne's Grey mixed up in FW inks, already mixed up. So it's the same mix, it's got isopropyl in it, and it was just Payne's Grey. I didn't use any of the smoke black, just straight Payne's Grey straight down, and just built it up over the layers, and we got it down. So I hope you enjoyed the video and picked up some tips along the way. Drop your comments, tell me your thoughts. If you're new to the channel, click that subscribe, it's free. Thumbs up, likes, it all helps, and I will see you lot in the next one, guys. I'm going to go and get warmed up because I'm freezing. Cheers.